Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the Geschutzwagen Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG. This one's located on the southwest corner of Live Oaks, and it's under the command of Red Dog Alpha 1. Yes, he's in another replay. In fact, he sent me quite a few, and some of them are really good. So that's why we've been doing them recently. Game on. Well, as you can see, Panther hull with a 15cm howitzer, a long barrel one at that, on top of the rear of the vehicle, counterbalancing the engine, which has actually been moved up front. Yes, they do change things around, don't they? In fact, you're seeing the exhaust coming out the back, but obviously the crew would have operated the vehicle at the rear. And I think that exhaust pipe is actually coming from the front of the vehicle, where the, although the driver is up front, of course, as well. Most of the crew are actually in the back. Otherwise known as Dracula, because, of course, those gun shields around the gun. The turret turns 26 degrees either side of the center line, which gives it a big wide arc of 52 degrees, actually. Very wide arc indeed. And that means that when the vehicle's stationary, and it doesn't actually have to move to get the target within the arc, you get a very quick dial-in on target. Oh, look at that, he hit two at once there. He actually got 246 hit points off the CC Mark II and 150 hit points off the T25AT. They were so close together when the shell went in that both of them got hit. And in fact, I think the shell actually hit the CC1 Mark II, and that's why it was splash on the other tank. Okay, getting an MX 5120 there on the corner. And he got a direct hit. And he's moving again to avoid counter battery. So he's getting some very good shots in straight off the mark. Now, as you know, the GW Panther, or you probably know, the GW Panther is the Arty that never was. It was considered, because of course the Germans did need a replacement Arty for the Hummel, and of course at the time the Gorilla and the Vespa, which were actually quite old. They were made using the Vespa was made using the Panzer Mark II, and the Gorilla was made using the hull or chassis of a Hetzer, or the Jagdpanzer 38 T. So it was quite an old chassis. And of course they did come up with the Hummel, and they manufactured a fair number of Hummels, but the Hummel was mostly used as counter battery, not as anti-personnel. And they needed another Arty that could actually act either counter battery or as anti-personnel. And the GW Panther made use of the Panther hull, the Panzer Mark V, but they never put it into production because they needed all of the hulls for the tanks. And that was another direct hit there. He's getting some excellent direct hits, which are, obviously we don't get the any recording of how much damage he's done, but he's probably done quite a lot from those shots. That turtle, oh, we can see now the turtle has lost a few hundred hit points. Okay, he's landed in a tier 9 game. He's bottom tier, and he was looking to put a round in. Oh, and he got a hit on the Panther. Okay, you can see the Lerva there as well. He's got a choice of targets now to aim for. Standard reload 25.89 seconds, but his reload is a little less, and he's loaded 22.4 he's got, which is a couple of seconds off. Another direct hit. You can see Red Dog Alpha 1 was having a really good game. He was enjoying this one. So much blind damage already, and he just keeps getting them. See, that Lerva's not really moving much from that spot. Rounds out. And it lands on the ground, but it did veer to the right a little. Oh, but he was close to the Lerva, so he probably did hit him because he stunned him. He definitely stunned him. As you can see, it's 600 alpha and 39 millimeters of pen, 7.2 meters burst radius and stun duration of between 9 and 18 seconds. He gets another hit, this time for 180. That Lerva is really asking for trouble if he stays where he is. He's obviously not a very well-practiced driver and doesn't realize that he is losing lots of hit points to Arty. Rounds out. Well, that one landed behind the Lerva. Still stunned him. The turtle appears to be just holding position. Oh, now he's moving. I think he's letting the Lerva move forward to take the damage instead of him. Okay, go for the turtle. Rounds out again. Lands short this time. But he's still stunned the Lerva. He's keeping these guys suppressed. And even though we're not making a lot of inroads into their numbers, we are making inroads in territory-wise because we are actually now squeezing them into the corner of the map. Another direct hit on the front of the vehicle. You can see this Char Future 4 just took a big hit. And our CC Mark 1... Oh, he got him. He got him. Okay, that turtle pulled back, and now he's actually taking damage a little further away. So if we can hit this Lerva and possibly put him out of the game. More splash, 58 hit points. It all counts. You just keep those rounds pumping out. 30 rounds capacity in the magazine, so you've got plenty of ammo to play with. And he's only used up 12 rounds so far, so he's not at half point. Rounds out again. Another hit, this time 250. And I'm sure that Lerva driver must realise by now he's been tracked. He can't use his repair kit. It's in cooldown, and now he's out the game. And that means that he got the stun assist off that one for the Lerva. The Lerva took 2 hits. Rounds out again. Lands short. Yes, he obviously couldn't use his repair kit because it's on cooldown, so he just made himself a perfect target. He should have pulled back. A lot of players don't pull back when they should pull back because they think to themselves, oh, I can just hold this position on my own. And it's the worst possible thing to do. What you should be doing is pulling back so your teammates can support you. Ideally, that's what people do. When they realize they're holding a position where they're up against outnumbered by the enemy, especially if Arty's in the game, because Arty will pin you down if you don't. Just as Red Dog Alpha 1 was pumping in those shells on the Lerva, he effectively made it very, very easy for his teammates to get the kill. And that one, actually, it only caused damage to the tracks. It didn't actually do anything other than stun. Getting hit points off that one. He's actually getting now much further away from the enemy. And I know he wants to keep pumping these shells out as quickly as he can, but I think he ought to start moving closer. Oh, and a kill shot to finish it off. In fact, that's his first kill of the game, would you believe it? And there's still 6 enemy tanks out there. And they're all holed up near their cap area. So they're all around these buildings. And there's their Arty, and M12, he didn't last very long. Okay, we've got a Waffenträger auf Panzer 4, very low armor. Rounds out. He obviously got the warning and pulled away as soon as that came in. Again, this is another reason to move up and get closer to the enemy. They get less warning, they can't move out the way as quick. I'd also go straight over the bridge, not even to bother with going down into the dip. Just get close as you can to the enemy to shorten the time. Okay, well, he's got a lovely target here now, the GW Panther. He's stationary. We're dialing in for a fully dialed in shot. Rounds out, and oh, that has got to be a penetration. No doubt about that whatsoever. It would have gone straight through the gun shield. There was no way that guy was coming out of that one alive. But at least he went down fighting. Okay, well, there's only 4 enemies left. We're going to go for the Ferdinand. Rounds out, looks good. lands alongside him for 41. Again, it's the distance that's causing the problem because they're further away, and that means they do get advance warning to move. That Waffenträger, oh, now that was a armor-piercing round from the other Arty on our team. The S51 decided to fire armor-piercing at the Waffenträger. It's not really necessary on a Waffenträger. How do I know it was armor-piercing? Because there was no big explosion at the other end. It made a whistle sound and then just a dull thud into the ground. Okay, that Ferdinand is now getting absolutely hammered, and oh! Well, it hit the Ferdinand, not our GW GeForce. I think he would have been really miffed if the round had hit him instead. And there's the last enemy, and it is a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Red Dog Alpha 1 in the GW Panther. He put in so much damage, and so many blind shots hit the target that he actually picked up the ace, not just for the actual damage, but also for the stun assist. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11, and he got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and that's despite the fact that he actually got 2 kills in the game, including one of the enemy Arty, of course. His win rate, 4,078, a very high score. Super Unicum, very nice indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game on this one. No, that went to the Vipera, who picked up a steel wall and 2,967 hit points, so he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest was the CC1 Mark II, 2,727 hit points. He got a Spartan in that one. And the third highest damage went to the Guard, who managed 2,696, and he picked up a Spartan and a Leather Slayer's medal. And here we got 4th place goes to Red Dog Alpha 1, 2,555 hit points, and of course that Confederate. When it came to kills, the highest number was the Guard, who got 5 kills in that game. Second highest was the CC1 Mark II on the enemy team, got 3 kills. And 2 kills went to the Vipera, the CC Mark II on our team, and of course Red Dog Alpha 1. And only one member of the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the Waffenträger Alpha Panzer IV. When it came to base XP, he's in 3rd place because the Guard managed 1,227, the Vipera managed 1,189, and then we got Red Dog Alpha 1 with 1,126. They all got over 1,000 hit points, or base XP rather. And the only other one who managed to get over 1,000 was the CC1 Mark II, got 1,020. You can see there's a big gap between the next one, which is the GW GeForce Mark IV. Probably not a practice player in the GW GeForce, but it is actually, you can see that these guys really knew what they were doing because they were piling on the damage and getting the majority of the kills. 11 kills between them on that team, so very well done indeed. We look at the detail, we can see he fired 21 shots in the game. He got 11 direct hits and 1 penetration. I think we know which one he penetrated. It was definitely the GW. Yep, no doubt about that one. Went straight through the gun shield. He also got 23 splashes, damage of 2,555, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, so he just qualified for the Confederate. 1,084 hit points, a stun assist of 21 stuns. He earned 31,119 credits on a free-to-play account, and after ammunition resupply, only took away 7,599 credits profit. 1,126 base XP, times 2 for the first victory, 2,252 experience points altogether. So that was a really good game in terms of piling on the damage. He just kept pumping those shells out, and he was getting really good results. He was either hitting the target or stunning the target, and it just kept piling up, and eventually he got there. Nice that he got the Confederate. I mean, he got 2 kills. You can't knock that as well. And the way he took those kills as well, with the Turtle, it was just, he overwhelmed the guy, and the GW, when he just dialed in on the target, put a shell right through him, and that was the end of his game. I think that was a really good example of a GW Panther game, an ace tanker, and he's had them before, because you can see there's no scrolls underneath, so he's done ace tankers in his GW, but that was a good example, that one. I hope you... Oh, before we do the final bit, I was about to end the video there. We'll just have a quick look at the armor, and you can see it is basically a Panther tank. So it's got the frontal armor of a Panther, 50mm angled coming out at 80, lower plate which is 30mm coming out at about 70. The engine deck is only 16mm, so very, very thin indeed there. The gun shield is negligible, 16mm. It's actually getting less towards the back. It's 30mm up here, but it's 16mm at the back, and that's where the shell went through when it actually landed directly on target. If you look at the live model, you can see it's well, it's showing that it's actually green there, but if it was an armor piercing round, it would just go straight through. And if I select an armor piercing, yes, you'll see green. So obviously anything would go straight through that. But yes, it is a Panther with a big gun on top. Let's have a quick look at the modules. Well, you can see that the driver's the only one up front, and he's got the transmission directly in front of him, but he's got the engine behind him, and of course the fuel tanks to his left, or to his right actually in this one, and the radio set directly behind that. So yes, they've moved the engine up front, and they've moved the crew and everyone into the back except for the driver. We've got the gunner on the right hand side, the tank commander on the left hand side, and the loader, well, loaders, pair of them, are actually at the rear of the vehicle, the very rear, with the ammo racks actually stored along the sides and the rear of the vehicle. So ideally, if you want to take the crew out on this vehicle, you aim for the back. If you want to get the engine, you aim from the front. Of course, it's like many of those Artys where everything's been reversed. They put the engine up front and the crew at the back. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. It was a fairly good one, fairly quick one. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And can I just say thanks to all the people who've been sending in messages saying they actually are enjoying these videos, because it does actually give me a bit of a boost to know that people are watching them and they're liking them, because otherwise you think, oh, you're fighting a losing battle, that we're just not getting enough views. But suddenly, for some reason, we are getting views, and they are coming through now. And of course that means that we can donate more money to the Ukraine refugees funds, because everything we're earning from the channel at the moment is going directly to help the Ukrainian refugees. So the more money you earn, the more money we can send, and we are putting proof on the What's Arty Noobs page so you can actually see that the money has been donated. Thanks for watching.